Hi friends, it's Mary here. I hope you enjoyed last week's lesson of the layers of the earth, and I look forward to seeing your finished assignments. Some of you may have heard that Catherine Prey Bowman, my daughter, sprained her ankle last week while she was up at school. And happy to report that she's doing better. It was a sprain and not a break. And she's hobbling around and getting stronger every day. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. Well, this week we're going to be looking at the continents and the oceans. You've probably seen this work before called the planisphere, as well as this globe that I know you're familiar from the Montessori classroom. And so we are going to be taking a look at the continents and the oceans, and I hope you enjoy the lesson and you learn something new. There are going to be a couple of videos that I'm going to be including in the lesson that I hope you check out on your own. They're pretty informative. One of them asks about why are there 7 continents, and are there more than 7? So we will proceed with the lesson now. You saw in last week's video how the land was one big landmass called Pangaea, and it was surrounded by a huge body of water that they named Panthalassa. Scientists explained to us that 300 million years ago, 7 large land masses fit together like puzzle pieces and very, very slowly moved into their current position. What is now the country of India smashed into the continent of Asia, and that crash formed the mountain range called the Himalayas. In the Himalayas, you can find the tallest mountain in the world. Do you know the name of that mountain? If you said Mount Everest, you're right. It's 29,029 feet tall. Pretty amazing, right? So let's look at our globe again. And remember, the globe is a sphere, and the planisphere is a flat map. If I were to take the globe and I was to split it down the middle, and then take each parts apart and lay them flat, this is what it would look like. So the continents that we see on our globe match up with the ones on our planisphere map, such as this is South America, this is South America, this is North America, this is North America, this is Africa, here's Africa here on our planisphere, here's Europe here, and here's Asia here. Now some of you might wonder why, if the definition of a continent is a large mass of land surrounded by water, why wouldn't this whole thing be a continent? And sometimes people do refer to it as Eurasia, but because the cultural difference between the people that live and their history, the people from Europe, are so very different from the people that are in Asia, it was decided that it would be 2 separate continents, 2 separate identities, Europe and Asia. And we also have Australia down here, which also is a large island. But again, it's considered a continent. And Antarctica, which we find at the very bottom, has 2 pieces. And that's again because it was split in half. So this is still all one piece of a continent, but I have 2 labels to indicate that it's separate. The same is for Asia. Asia is up here, and if you notice, Asia is also over on the other side of our hemisphere. So let's look at the continents in another way. Let's think about what is the largest continent versus what's the smallest continent. Let's put them in order. So we're going to be looking at the size of the continents per million square miles. So the largest continent that we have on our planet Earth is Asia. It comes in at 17.2 million square miles. The second largest is Africa. That comes in at 11.6 million square miles. The third one, what do you think? It's getting closer now. The third one comes in North America, and that is 9.3 million square miles. The third is South America, and that comes in at 6.8 million square miles. Now we're down to Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. So what's your guess? You're thinking. Well, it's actually Antarctica. Antarctica comes in at 5.4 million square miles, which means it's bigger than Europe. Even though Antarctica has 0 people living there, and Europe has 724 million people living on its continent. But size-wise, Antarctica is larger than Europe. Europe comes in next with 4 million square miles, and Australia, down under, comes in at 2.9 million square miles. So from the largest to the smallest. So now let's take a look at the oceans. An ocean is a large body of water. And we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oceans that are named on our planet. The first one I'm going to look at is the Pacific Ocean. And the Pacific Ocean is the largest. You can see it goes all the way here, but it also extends all the way over here. Remember what I said about the globe, that here we've got our Pacific Ocean. Look at how much it covers. So it borders South America and North America, and Australia and Asia. So I actually need 2 labels, even though there's 1 Pacific Ocean. I'm going to use 2 labels because it is so big. The next is the Southern Ocean. And the Southern Ocean is actually in the south, aptly named. I probably could have 2 layers here, but we're just going to put that right there to show that this is the Southern Ocean down here. So it's around Antarctica and the tip of South America and Australia. It's called the Southern Ocean. The Indian Ocean is up here, this ocean right here, and it's actually named after the country that's called India, and that's the Indian Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is in between here. It borders North and South America, Africa, and Europe. That's the Atlantic Ocean. And the Arctic Ocean is way up here in the very North Pole. So we'll put that there. So those are the 5 oceans. So that's the end of the presentation. And now I'd like to share with you your follow-up assignments. So I will have paper plates for the first level students available on the porch this Sunday and next Sunday for you to use if you don't have them. But you are going to need some blue paint. And what you're going to do is you are going to paint the paper plate blue, the whole thing. I'm not going to do it because I have a sample right here, so it's going to end up looking like this. And you will print off this one sheet, which has the continents. And the dark black line is where you're going to cut, and then cut out the labels. And you're going to glue them on your paper plate that represents the oceans in the appropriate places where they lay on the planet Earth. Okay, so that's the first level assignment. So for the second level assignment, you're going to print off these 4 pages that are on the site here. And the first page is going to have the instructions and what color you need to color the continents. Okay, so you're going to cut out on the big dotted line here on each of the 4 pieces. And you'll notice that there's a glue here on many of the sides. And that is where you are going to put your pieces together, kind of like a puzzle piece. And I will get my glue out. Cut one already so I can show you. So you'll see kind of matching them up. So they wouldn't go down here because that wouldn't make sense. But this, if you put it together, you can see it would match. And so I'll get my glue and run it along here. Don't want to get any of my runner here. I did, I got some on my runner. And then I'm going to glue that, line that up and glue that there. Okay? And I'm going to continue to do that for the other 2 sheets of paper. And you'll notice on the last sheet of paper, there are the labels. And you're going to cut those out, and you're going to first color your continent map, again following the directions, the color code, and then lay out the oceans and the continents at their appropriate spot. So that is what the second level students are going to be doing. Okay, and for the third level students, you're going to be asked to print off just a single piece of paper that is actually a geography quiz that you might want to use an atlas, which is what this book is here, or even if you just have a map, like sometimes you have place maps of the world that you can use as a reference, and a lot of these you'll probably be able to figure out yourself. Like, for example, the first question says, what continent surrounds the South Pole? Well, I think you would know that that is Antarctica. So that is going to be your follow-up thirds, is just a single piece of paper. And I hope that you will enjoy doing it and will be challenging you. And I also want to let everyone know that if there is another assignment that you see that either the first or the seconds are doing, that you feel free that you can do those ones as well. You can do as many as you want, but you do need to do the ones that are asked to do for the first, second, and third level students. So I will see you guys next week, and I hope you have a great week, and take care. Bye.